Join me on a fascinating journey where I show you some of the techniques used in scale aeromodelling. Hello again modelers, just another quick update, or just a little video just so that you know I'm still here. I've re-rigged the Blackburn Monoplane and it's taken 2 days, about 6 hours per day to make the 24 rigging wires, but they're all done and I've done a better job of it this time than I did the first time around. I guess practice makes perfect, but hopefully I don't have to do it again. So the tension is a lot stronger in the way I've rigged it this time. I've also introduced probably about 2 degrees of washout in the wings, so the wing tips are angled down. This will mean that the center of the wings of the model, of the wing sections, will stall before the tips. This hopefully will avoid it falling over in the turns and what have you, which it did when we flew at Walsall in the Indoor Nationals. So hopefully that's sorted some things out. The wings are a little bit lighter, but not a lot. I've used, rather than twisted copper wire for the anchor points, I've actually used the shanks of fishing hooks. So they're a lot stronger and they actually sit in carbon tubes that are CA'd to the carbon spars, so they're nice and solid. So I was quite comfortable that I could increase the line tension, and this has meant that I haven't got any sagging lines that I had with the previous version, so I'm a little bit happier with that. I've set the C of G at the moment to 30%, which I know is a long way back, but the people I've spoken to say between a quarter and a third, so a third is 33%, so we're about 30% back. It's 70 mils back from the leading edge. And it's a 210 mil cord, so we're a third of the way back. So I'm going to take some lead along to Liverpool. I'm flying on Saturday at St Helens, so I'm going to take some strips of lead along so I can shift that COG further forward, because I think that's going to be a bit too far back, to be honest. So I need to move it forward, but because the moment between the CFG, between the centre of lift and the nose and the distance to the tail is so great, the amount of lead you've got to add to the front is quite significant, and there's already more lead in the front of this than I really wanted to have, but yeah, the CFG has to be where the CFG needs to be, otherwise it'll only fly once and end in disaster. So we'll do a quick short hop with it set like this, and then I'll power back and see what it does. And I'll take some lead with me to increase the weight. I may have to fly it without the cowl in case the lead stops the cowl fitting on properly, but that won't matter too much. I just have to allow for the weight of the cowl in my final calculations and what have you. So that's the plan. Give it a go on Saturday, and hopefully it'll turn. If it can do a figure of 8, or if I can get it to do a figure of 8 by the end of that, and I can actually control it, then we'll give it a go at Walsall. So, wing loading. Thought that might be interesting for you. The model weighs, with all the lead and the battery pack and everything else, it weighs almost exactly 250 grams, which is more than I really wanted to, but there's probably 25 grams of bloody lead at the front, excuse my English, which is a nuisance. Anyway, working out the the surface area of the lifting area, tailplane and wing, we come out with a figure of 9.8 grams per decimeter squared, which is a little higher than I want it to be, but it's still, it's not terrible. It would mean that it should just fly a little bit faster, but it should still be fine. So I can. The reason it didn't perform so well at Walsall last year, I believe, was me not allowing for the centrifugal force of the motor at the front, because the dummy motor spins with the propeller. It means that, now I may have got this the wrong way around, I can't remember, when I turn right it pitches up, and when I turn left it pitches down, and if I'd got a lot more stick time on it, I would probably be able to compensate for that, knowing full well as I'm turning right that I'm going to have to stick some down or up in, or I could even generate a bit of a mix to do it for me, which I'm reluctant to do, because when you then power off, that force goes away and then you're a bit stuck. you're relying on it, you're counting on it be there. So I think I'd rather my thumb remember that I need to feed a bit of down in when I go right, or vice versa. I don't know which way around it is, and that's part of the problem. My brain doesn't work quick enough when I'm flying the model. So the thing I might do on Saturday is actually take the motor off and fly it without the dummy motor. That way that effect won't even come into it, and I'll just get it to fly without the dummy motor, and once I'm happy with it like that, then maybe reintroduce the dummy motor. Or I've got another motor, you know, the one that I did the test spraying with to try and weather it and make it look nice. I could actually fit that motor because it's got a bigger hole in the middle and it won't touch the motor, it can just fit and be stationary. So anyway, a bit longer than I meant to show, but fingers crossed for Saturday, and there'll be a short video on Sunday probably, just to let you know how it went. If I can convince somebody there to film it, then I'll share it with you as well. All right, see you soon.